Hello and welcome to Fun Fresh Friday.
Woo! Welcome, everybody. Hi, Sunetta.
Hi, Stefania. It is so good to see. I always look forward to Fun Fresh Fridays. I do.
Yes,
I always look
absolutely.
forward to it
So do I.
because I get to be with my good pal, my good buddy, and talk about some stuff that we need.
Yes,
Yeah, we
yes,
need.
stuff
We
we
need.
really need that everybody needs. And once we
Yes.
bring up some of these topics, it's amazing how people say, "Yeah, I feel like that too. Yeah, I've been feeling like that."
Yes, yes, yes.
So
So, welcome everybody, all that have joined. Thank you so much for joining us. And as we always do, we like to give shout outs. So, I'm going to give a shout out to my niece, Zaniel. Um, she is. She's going for gonna be an architect. So she's in her junior year. Woo!
woohoo.
So yeah, she's a trooper. She is a trooper. So Zania, I love you. Here's a shout out for you and do great. Do great. She's doing great. She's doing great. So hi,
Awesome. Hi,
Destiny.
Sonia.
Welcome. Hi.
Destiny. How are you? Welcome, welcome. And a big shout out to my cousin Francesca in Italy. She's all the way up in Merano in the northern part of Italy, which is a beautiful part. It's close to a ski resort, and they've had some
No.
wonderful snow up there at the moment. So hello, Francesca, and lots of love to you too.
Hello, Francesca.
Francesca is my cousin, but she also speaks English very well. She lived in California for
Oh,
quite a period of time. Yeah, she was married and had a child, and so she has a very
awesome.
strong uh, Italian American accent when she speaks English. So
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
yes,
So,
so
so as you can see, I got my bling bling on.
you have girlfriend looking
Yes.
very bedazzling, must I say?
Bedazzled. Yes. And for
Yeah.
those of you that would like and you like it, let me know. Because all
Mm.
of this for the price of 15. What? No, $5.
Wow.
$5. Beautiful.
$5? Did you say $5 or
Yes.
$15?
Five. Five.
$5. Wow, what a bargain.
Yes.
Anyone, yeah, that is cheap, cheap jewelry. And it looks very, very expensive. And you wear
It's
it well.
cheap, but it doesn't look cheapy.
Exactly. Yes, 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 yes. I love
And I
it.
wear it well. Thank you very
I'm
much. No.
wearing my hoop today as well. I'm wearing my hoop.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you
Natasha.
so much. So,
Yes. So
so our
today,
topic.
let's get started
No,
on our
yeah,
topic. As you
yes,
can
go ahead.
see, we're going to be talking about belonging. And this is something that I know it was my turn to bring up the topic today. And I really felt like this week. Well, I've been feeling like this, I think, all my life.
Uh-huh.
But it's something that we tend to suppress, about belonging. Do we belong? How do we belong? Do you feel like you fit in? These questions we ask ourselves because there are times where we don't feel like we belong. There are times where we feel like we're not good enough.
Right.
Um, and it's common. This is something that's very common amongst a lot of us. I don't think
Yes.
it's just one or two, you know, people in the crowd. This is
Mhm.
something I think we've all experienced. Now, how we've dealt with it, I think, is very important, or how we're dealing with it, because it can have some consequences, right? So it's a
Right.
common feeling that everyone experiences at least once in their lives, if not many times.
I beg to differ. I think many times.
Many
Um,
times.
Natasha says, "Hi, Stefania."
Hi, Natasha. I'd love to have you on the show and share some of your stories about this. I'm sure you've got lots to share, but
I
only if you're
know.
open to it. But either way, belonging is something that is part of being human. Okay,
Hmm.
it's innate, it's in us. Every time, every person, we feel like we have this need to relate to someone. We have this need to have someone around, a support system,
Hmm.
a cheerleader, just knowing that we fit in with the people or places around us.
Right.
And sometimes we don't get that, or we feel like we're not fitting in. Now, is it a figure of our imagination, or are we just um, overwhelming ourselves with also with what society places on us?
Hmm. Hmm.
Everyone's filled with that desire to fit in,
Yeah.
particularly, and we say this particularly with social media and with the young ones. You don't only see it amongst adults. I think we also are starting to really realize and see this amongst the young ones.
Yeah.
As young as, I don't know, with my girlfriend, I know with her, even her 6-year-old, where she's very aware of, social media and friends and peer group pressure. And it
Hmm.
puts a lot of pressure on everybody, even parents.
Yeah.
But let's talk about our own fitting in, let alone children's fitting in. We'll talk about that another time. What do you think, Zanetta?
Yes. 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 So I look back when I was married previously, and we were in the military. I mean, even me when I was in the military, and Amelia,
Hey, Anolia,
hello! Oh my goodness! Oh, we miss
girlfriend.
you.
Yes, definitely.
So, it's when we go overseas. Because I was stationed, my first duty station from boot camp was Washington State, but I was only there for like a year, and then all of a sudden I went to Korea. I went to I was like, oh my god. Even though I came from the Philippines, but still, going overseas, so you have that sense of, okay, I'm going to a foreign country. I need to have a sense of belonging, and that becomes a culture. And I know the ones that are in the military will relate to this. But also, if you're not in the military, you will relate to this. When you go to a foreign country, you hear the accent. Oh, you're American.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. It's like a home, like your home, like you have this bond, and that's what happens. And I think that's what we were looking for. We're looking for home. We're trying to find a bond, and we're trying to fit in. I love your graphic of the um, of the
The
of the
garlic.
garlic
Mm,
with the slice of orange trying to fit in. I mean,
yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that is so brilliant. But
Well,
yeah.
that's credit to. Sorry, I just want to butt in. That's credit to my very dear friend Chris over in the States, and he had that up on his profile page, and I just
Nice.
really related to that. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to use this. So thank you, Chris, for the inspiration.
Yeah. Yes. So yes, you build your own little tribe. Yeah, you try to build your own little tribe. But do you ever feel like this? That you have your tribe, you know, you have your set of people, but do you still feel like you don't belong?
Well, that's very common as well.
Let's talk about
Like
that.
yeah, let's talk about that, Sanina.
Let's
Tell
talk
me
about
more.
that. You have that. You have that commonality. You have your tribe. You have, like we have the authors tribe. All of us are authors, right? Um, but yet there's still this something missing, like there's no connection, or you're still trying to find whether you really fit in with that group, even though you have commonality, you're still trying to figure out, I wonder if I fit in, or I wonder if I'm doing anything. I wonder if I'm making a difference. I'm wondering, so you have all of these. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one.
No, I experienced that, and I don't even have to be in a tribe to be feeling that. I feel it just all on my own.
Do tell that you feel like that on
What's
your
in
own.
Olia saying? There is strength and comfort level you have to have when fitting in.
Yes, that is
Mm,
true. That is true. It does take
absolutely.
strength, yes, to, feel that comfortability, that level of comfortability, to fit in, because um, not everything fits perfect, right? Even the puzzle has gaps.
But isn't there perfection in that imperfection as well?
Right, exactly. You can fit in and still have a longing for what you came from. What?
Drop the mic in
Drop
Olia.
that. Drop that nugget. Yeah, but do talk about, you feel like a sense of not belonging even just by yourself.
Yeah, yeah. This is, I'm gonna be really honest here. It's like I'm always honest. I know I say that. We spoke about that
Transparent. You're
last
going to be
week.
transparent tonight.
I'm gonna be transparent. And this is something that I think I've struggled with all my life. As far as I can remember, back at primary school, back at, like prep, feeling
Mm,
like I never fitted in. I felt it was always a struggle to not so much make friends, but people didn't see me like the rest. I always felt like I was very different.
hmm,
Was I treated differently? Well, yeah. But, I know that there's strength in that now. I know I've never
mhm,
been the same as everybody else, which, some people have labeled me as being complicated. And there's beauty in complications, I think. But I say more, I'm complex, maybe
mm,
complex. I have, I see things, I feel things differently. And I think what I've done, I've internalized it and made what their thoughts of me be mine. And that's what's made it
mm,
even worse. I know what's happened because
mm,
I've taken that on and not really seeing that not fitting in is actually also, a good quality. It just means I'm different. It just means that I'm special. I mean, we're all special, right? We're all special in our own very way. But it wasn't till later in life that I really realized that, hey, this is a gift. It's not a burden. And I think a lot of
mhm,
us tend to feel that it's a burden because we don't fit in. And, I
mm,
experienced this like through primary school, through high school. And I was always very creative in the arts and in theater. So I really stood out. And part of me wanted to hide because I didn't want to stand out. That's the
mhm.
crazy thing. So when I did stand out, it was like I still didn't feel like I fitted in. It was worse. It was worse. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So what I'm going to do, but hold that thought. So because yours doesn't come in, your comments on your page doesn't come in, I'm going to read it. We
Yes.
have some people there. Rosaria, did I say that right? Did I say that correctly? Hopefully I said it
Rosaria.
right. Rosaria
Yes.
said Stefania with a heart and ciao. ¿Cómo estáis? ¿Cómo estáis?
That means, how are you?
Ah, I can
Yes,
read.
all
Oh.
the way from Italy. Come stai? Thank you, Rosaria.
And Phil said, hello, ladies. Hello, Phil. Thank you
Oh,
for
God.
joining. Thank you for watching. Um,
Yes.
yeah, so it's amazing that you said that, that you took on their thoughts of you.
Hmm.
But do we, hmm, how can I say this? Do we sometimes add what others are thinking and put it on ourselves? Because I don't know how to explain it. Let me try to explain it. So somebody makes a comment, right? Let's say this: somebody makes a comment and says, "Oh, okay. Here's a good example.
Mhm.
Um, I have to speak Tagalog to my fellow Filipinos because I don't look Filipino and I don't have an accent. And so I have to introduce myself. I have to say, is it okay? That I'm a Filipina, and let's talk, Tagalog. And so we'll start talking Tagalog, but then they'll revert to English and start talking to me in English. And I'm like, but I want, I want to speak Tagalog.
Mm.
And then they'll start saying comments like, wow, you don't have an accent. So now in my mind, I'm like, I'm not Filipino enough.
Mm.
So so I'm taking on something that what they said, but I added a little bit of what I think
Mhm.
they're thinking when they're not
Mhm.
really thinking at all. I don't know if they are.
So, what are we really doing, Zanetta?
Yeah, so that's a question. What are we doing to ourselves?
Creating wonderful stories. Aren't real. That's what we're doing. We're creating fabulous stories.
Yes, fabulous stories that
Don't exist.
don't exist. I want to say, that are lies, but I've been told that I've been brutally honest, so I'm trying to see that those little things. Oh, you're so brutally honest, Zanetta. But no, yeah, we're telling ourselves lies. Isn't that true?
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. We've got some messages up. They put a
Yes,
message.
Enoya. She said, I was always an outsider, didn't fit in from childhood. Funny that all the friends I grew up with didn't fit in either. We attracted each other as friends.
Yeah, wow, that's true. That's why we're all together.
So that only means what? We are not alone.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Not alone. I always had a lot of people around me, but always felt like the black sheep. Destiny. Oh my God, yes. I always felt like that.
Yes.
I feel like in my family, as close as we are, I feel like I'm the black sheep. But that's my feeling. I'm pretty sure my sister will see this and she was like, "No, you're not. You're not the black sheep. I'm the black sheep." Or 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 she will say, "We know who the black sheep is."
That's right. They just straight up tell you. I've had that done to me. I've had that said to me. Where so
Yeah.
I kind of like have taken that on. But now you know, while you wear that title, you wear it the way you want to wear it.
Mm.
Really.
Oh.
How do you want to wear it? If
Mm.
that's what you want to claim and that's what you want to, yeah, well, there's strength in that. There is
Yeah.
strength in being different and not fitting in.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I used to be like that all the. I mean, a while back, I used to be so concerned as to how I show up or how I. Here we go. We're gonna block you. Play that
Okay.
game. So, I always felt like that I always had to be somebody else to fit in.
So what do you do when you don't fit in? Because that's the thing, right? Because here
Mhm.
we are trying to be, fitting in and we don't fit. Like the mandarin in that garlic piece. Like
Yeah, yeah.
bulges out, it's very colorful. It's not a smooth fit.
So my daughter, she's a beautiful soul. Beautiful soul. She loves Jojo Siwa. Loves Jojo Siwa. I didn't know who Jojo Siwa was until I got her. So, so Jojo Siwa is a young entrepreneur. I think she's final. I think she's now 18 or something like that. But anyway, she's still a young kid. But she became a millionaire at a young age, and all she's doing is just singing and have these products. Um, and she likes Jojo Siwa, so she wanted these things, these products from Jojo Siwa, and she was just excited about it. So, I was like, okay, yes, let a young lady entrepreneur be a mentor, be an idol, because she's really good. I mean, she doesn't do any kind of crazy stuff. So, but when she was around her friends, and her friends were like, oh, we don't like Jojo Siwa. Oh, me too. I don't like her.
No.
They were all in the back seat. I didn't say anything, so because it's not that moment yet. And then afterwards, I started talking to her. I said, well, what happened? How come you don't like JoJo Siwa? Well, I don't know. No, you can't do that. So we started talking about fitting in. And I told her, I said, listen, as a friend, they should accept you as who you are. If you like JoJo Siwa, then they should say, you know what, you like JoJo Siwa, but I don't like it. But it's okay. Instead of, well, if you like JoJo Siwa, then I'm not going to be your friend. Good, you don't fit in.
Right.
Good.
Yeah. And so these are things that set in as children. We embed that into our subconscious mind,
Yeah.
and unknowingly, because we're young and we're just wanting to fit in.
Right. 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 Accept other people's quirkiness. Accept other friends. Likes. Like like me. I love balut. I don't know if you've been. So balut
A
is a
lot.
balut is a delicacy in the Philippines that it's a baby duck in a egg. So you eat it. Google it. BALUT. Balut.
Okay. Sounds really interesting.
I eat it. And people are like, oh my God, that's just disgusting. Well, she will learn to stand in her truth through your conversation. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So, so I'm like, I don't care if you don't like it. I'm going to eat it. And if you don't want to be around me when I eat it,
That's okay too.
yes, so I can eat in peace. And I think that's what we try to do. We try to fit in. We try to, as kids, like what you said, it goes back through
Way back.
way back that we try to fit in. We try to be the cool kid, or be in the be in the cool table.
Mm.
At the cool
But I
table, those are the
think,
cool kids.
yeah. Was that another message?
Oh
No,
no.
another message. But what I wanted to add to that is how do we handle not fitting in? Okay, because that's really the important part here.
So how do
And
you
whether
handle not fitting in?
okay, so I'm going to share with you what's been happening for me in the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
And I've had some real healing, some real letting go, as I'm always letting go. I got so much to let go. But even today, I'm going to share this because Zanetta's, my friend here, my bestie, and just before the show, and because it was my turn to bring up the topic, and I said, Zanette, I want to talk about belonging. And I was like getting really teary and just crying. Like it was just very emotional. I said, because this is what I've been experiencing this week. And I think I need to talk about it, but I think I'm going to cry when we're going to talk about it. And she said, no, it's okay. It's okay, And that was so reassuring that I want to share that with our audience, that it's okay to feel like you don't belong. Because when we feel like we don't belong, God has a bigger plan for us. God is preparing you. God is preparing you for some amazing things. And we see, we don't see it. And it's in that pain that we are being stretched, we are being pulled, we are being stretched to grow, to succumb, overcome whatever it is that we're feeling at that moment. And that is what I have been experiencing. The pain, like thinking I'm going to die when really I'm not, when you just kind of calm down, you're not going to die. This is just growth. And this is what I had to remind myself, Stefania, this is just growth. This is you just stretching. God is stretching you. God is really pulling you each way to just, prepare you for something bigger, better, more beautiful. And all we have to do, I think, and which I had to surrender, was just surrender and say, okay, God, whatever it is that you have for me, I trust the process. I surrender. I just let it go. And I did a live the other day about the serenity prayer. I really keep going over that. God, give me the strength to accept the things I cannot change, because the things we can't change. It is what it is, and we can't change it. But God, give us the strength or the courage to change the things we can. And the most important as well, the wisdom to know the difference. Because when we're stuck in that tunnel vision, we don't know the difference. We were not even allowing ourselves to see the difference, know the difference.
Right.
So for me, I've embraced that, and I just had to let that go and just say, yeah, I am different. Not everyone's going to like me. Not everyone's going to hate me. Not everyone is just going to be kumbaya with me.
Right.
Because that's what, and Zanetta, my journey is just wanting to be, I guess, accepted. But it's not about that, because the right people will hear your message. The right people will know that you exist, because God will bring us together. Exactly like what Enolia said, amongst us, we will just find each other. And that's how I have, experienced it. And the courage to be okay with being different. Yes, Enolia. Yes. Yeah, having the courage. But and see, this is what happens. We're put in a place where it's a struggle to accept that, because everybody around us is either beating us down or criticizing, or it's not a flow. It's just like we're going up an uphill current. And that's what's been the struggle. But when you just let go and just surrender, you will ride with the current. You will ride with it.
Yeah. So here's what I gather with when you have that feeling of the sense of not belonging, or the sense of you're alone, and you know that anguish, that that pain that you were talking about earlier. It's God's way of separating you, or putting you in a position to where you're not fitting in anything because he wants you to be you. He wants you to be uniquely you, and he wants you to understand that and see that and know that. Just like what you said, the courage to be okay with being different. Because sometimes when we try to fit in and we try to go with the flow, that's not what God intended for us to be. He intended, woohoo, yes.
Mm.
We have Wendy with us. Thank you for joining.
Hello,
I am,
Wendy.
I'm
Welcome.
gonna I'm gonna figure this out. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We're good.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome conversation you guys are having about fitting in.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when we don't fit in, it's because God wants to set you apart. He wants you to be uniquely you. Because sometimes, with our friends, and you'll find this even with spouses, you tend to take on their little quirks, their little, you know. So my husband, he will say, "But why?" With everything, but why? So now I take on that, but why? So we take it on.
Yeah.
But when we take that on and when we try to be somebody else or when we try to fit in, don't we become imposters?
You just gonna drop the mic like that, right? That you just wow. The thing about fitting in, there's a balance, I think, with fitting
Mm,
in because you do kind of take on some of the characteristics of the people who you spend the most time with, and that's okay. It's only when you feel like I feel like growing up, I always felt different from my family, from the kids at school, and I was teased a lot because I was different. And I was never encouraged to own being different. So I
mm,
was thinking about your title, and I'm like, I don't think my ex-husband's gonna see this, but let's talk. So, and it's nothing bad. He's a super stylish dresser. Every time you see him, you're like, oh, Matthew's not that person. Matthew, our 20-year-old, is, hey, he'll pick it up off the floor, shake it, he'll put it on. It's clean, so he's good. And that drives him crazy. And I'm like, well, he's not you. And I told Matthew, I said, you have to own who you are. And it's okay if you're different. And I think part of um, s- when you grow up and you're trying to fit in and you feel a certain kind of way because you don't fit in is because as a child, you want your kids to be happy and have friends and if they don't, well, honey, maybe if you fix your hair, like I only wore a pony. It was sad. It
mm.
was quite sad. I only wore a ponytail. I was a tomboy. I didn't wear dresses. And my mom was like, if you would just, if we could just do your hair. And I'm like, I don't, if you put on a skirt. And I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. And so I grew up thinking that something was wrong with me because all the other little girls they were popular and they were doing. So it's part of what you tell your kids and what they see in you as you step into your whoever God made you to be. Like it's okay to
Mm.
be different. So I tell Matthew, I'm like, honey, you're not your father. I mean, there are a lot of things about you that are your father, and that's cool, but you have your own way of being, and that's cool as well. So you never have to explain it. You never have to apologize for it. You have to be who you are. And it's funny, that's why I was late. He just left and he was just talking about how some friends were being different. And he was like, no, my parents taught me this. And I'm like, yes, yeah, you can be different. You don't have to accept behavior that is not in line with your values. And he
Yeah.
feels comfortable speaking up about that. So I mean, it took a long time to own my different, but it took a long time. I didn't have that environment growing up where I felt it was okay, being different.
Yeah. I think we all grew up in that era
Yeah.
that, oh, come on, you need to, fit in. Especially with, oh gosh, um, with the appearance.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that, yeah, with how we our appearance, um, you know. like my daughter, she's going through it now. Well, I want my hair straight.
Yeah.
Well, why? You got kinky.
And
I
it's
love it.
okay.
I love it. Just so okay, you want your hair straight. Well, let's try that. Let's see if you like that. You know, but not because you want it straight because it's because you're treated better.
Yeah. But that's what society teaches us, right?
Yeah.
Like I never knew a time when my hair wasn't straightened with the comb, with the relaxer. That's just the way I thought I was supposed to be. And when my friend was like, "You should go natural," I'm like, "Ooh, I can't do that." The guy I was dating had this dark, silky Indian type hair, beautiful.
Oh,
And I'm like,
beautiful.
He's not gonna. I can't be kinky." And so
He has more. His hair is more beautiful than mine.
yeah, I'm like, my hair is supposed to flow, right? You're supposed to be able to run your fingers through my hair. And thankfully, God gave me a good guy. And he was like, "No, you look beautiful. Go natural and let's see how it looks." So he kind of encouraged that. And then when I met my husband, he was like, "I love your hair the way it is." So when I get it trimmed, it has to be straight for them to trim it. He's like, I'm like, "I look like everybody else, don't I?" He's like, "You do." And I'm like, "See, I've gotten to that point though, but it took years for me to be like, I can't, I don't have that kind of hair that you could just not put no chemicals in. That's not going to go over well at all." But I mean, that's the conversation with people who have kinky hair. What is my job going to say? You
Mm,
see it on the news with kids who have locks or they have a style that is different than society. They're ostracized because they're not the same as everyone else. It makes people nervous for some reason, for
yeah.
someone to be different, to enter their space, and they're like, what do we do with this? You don't do anything. You learn. How about that? Learn about this person. We're more than our hair. We're more than, our skin.
Right.
It's who we are internally, but we look
Yes.
at what we see and we are sometimes threatened by that for some reason.
Yes. Yes. We are being blessed today, being joined also by Enolia.
Magnolia.
She has a beautiful shortcut. I love it.
Yes, all the way
We
from
talked about hair.
Africa.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
So good to see you all. It's so
So good
beautiful.
to see you.
What a beautiful
I know. I
smile.
know it's. I know it's very.
It's 3 a.m. I just got off of a meeting with the States. I was checking my media just before I was going to sleep, and there you were, and I was like, I have to do it. I miss you. I miss you
Yes.
so much.
Yes, we miss you. We miss you. So, what do you think about our conversation? You
I'm
being
loving it.
American. Oh, hold on, wait. You being American in Africa.
Mhm.
How is that?
So, I've been blessed with the fact that I have like total acceptance. I mean, so much so that I've gone through initiations with the Ogumbundu people here, did what had to be done to be accepted, part of the family and everything. And I can't even begin to tell you that I go through these iterations where I just miss home. I
Mm,
long for home. And it's not that anyone's treating me wrong. They are inclusive. I am spoken to. Do you have everything? Do you need anything? What can I do for you? Come to my home, eat with us. Let's go out. I go out with the girls. I've got a set of friends. Let's work together. How can we create work? As entrepreneurs, all of it. And there are just moments where it doesn't matter what anyone does, that there's this longing in my heart, and, I've just accepted that. I've just
mm,
accepted that. It's not, it's like not speaking Portuguese just, enough to communicate, but still, I'm still that person that's outside. I'm still that person that they're patient with. I'm still that person that is the outsider but fits it.
Mm.
You know, and there's a difference from birth in versus fitting in.
Wow. Wow.
And
Wow.
that's really all over the world because I've submerged with a lot of cultures, and you know, I love the openness and the open arms and the embracing,
Mm-hmm.
but there's still a difference. There.
Yeah. Yeah. So Stefania, now that we're talking about belonging and being a different from a different culture, different background, and living in a foreign country,
Right.
how did you feel coming here to the U.S.? How
How did
was
I
your Yeah, how
my
was your experience? Because I want to compare your experience being, you know, coming here to the U.S.
yeah,
rather than somebody from the U.S. going to Africa and they're very embracing. I want to
right.
hear your
Well,
version.
okay. Well, I have a few different experiences because I've lived in different countries. So
Mm-hmm.
America and Italy of late, the last country I lived for 7 years. I think when I came to America, I didn't have a problem. They embraced me. I did not have a problem. I think because I tend to adapt very easily and because it was English, I spoke English. So for me, it was very fluent, very easy. The fact that I was Australian too, they really gravitated to that and really, made me feel very welcome. I didn't have a problem with America. I actually had more of a problem in Italy, believe it or not. Yes. Why? Because my Italian wasn't perfect. So my Italian was like, dialect Italian. I spoke
Oh.
Sicilian. I grew up speaking Sicilian at home. So if anyone, out there who's Italian or knows of Italian, I mean, I know Inolia, you're very, aware of Italian languages. We have many dialects all within Italy. We have the main Italian, like the fluent, you the Italian from Rome, right? But then you have all the different dialects. So my dialect was a village dialect because my parents came out to Australia and that's what they spoke. And that's what we learned. That was my first language, actually, before I went to school. So when I went to Italy, what was really funny because I presented well, but the minute I opened my mouth, it was like, what? What, what country did she come from?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? It was like, are you for real? Like this well-dressed, well-presented woman, and she speaks like, I don't know, some country pig or something. No, it wasn't that bad, but like, I guess like someone in America who speaks like, I don't know, from way country, like, you know what I mean? You guys kind of
From the
like,
South.
Oh
sorry,
yes,
From the South.
from the
from the
South.
South.
Yes.
From the South.
So I did not fit in very well. I'm a communicator. I love to blend in. I love to talk. So what happened was I retreated. I felt like I wasn't fitting in. I was tall for an Italian, blonde. When I spoke English, and I taught English too. So they all knew me that I was the English teacher in town. So it was this like, I just didn't fit in, even with ladies, men. No, I didn't have a problem with men. It was probably too friendly with men, but where they just really gravitated to. But I wanted to have girlfriends. I wanted to be able to just hang out with the girls. That was the challenge for me. That was the biggest challenge.
Mm.
And not feeling like I fitted in. And so be it. But then I found my tribe. I found my circle. Very limited people because again, the city I lived in, not that it was a backward city, but they're still, like, I would say, very limited in the way they think, their
Mhm.
expansion of life as compared to someone from the States or, like from Australia, or for someone that's actually, because I've traveled immensely. So I'm very, cultured and very aware, and I'm, I guess, very accepting. They thought I was like this wild woman that just had no reins.
There you go.
Because
Wow,
I would,
wow,
yeah,
woman.
yeah.
Well, I want to ask you a question, Stefania, because now that you're talking about this, because I spent 6 months in Namibia, which is English speaking Africa. I didn't feel anything, no problem.
Right.
But, you know, a year here in the Portuguese speaking, and you know what it is, I think also, and I want to know if you have these experiences because you don't have to have lived anywhere to have this, but because I didn't speak the language right off the bat, I never felt seen.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you don't feel seen, it's like they knew me, but they didn't know me.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
So, you
huge.
know, it was like 6 months into it, and my fiance is explaining to his mother that she has a degree. She's an entrepreneur. She's not leaving with me to go to work because she's keeping me company. She's leaving because she's running her business, mom. You know, she's very smart. She's very intelligent.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. Oh, hakaka. I didn't know. You know, it's just like they thought I just was uncomfortable being there with the women sitting there and washing clothes and blah 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 blah. And it's like I work. I
Right.
engage. I have a purpose that I'm trying to fulfill.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw me, but they never saw me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, they did see you. They do see you. Let me tell
Yeah.
you, they do see you.
yeah.
They just don't want to, in some cases, allow you in.
Or acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement. And,
Yeah.
I'll give you an example of what used to happen to me when I used to go out because I didn't have the Italians are very cliquey. Like you have little cliquey
Yeah.
groups and they're very possessive. Like, you're in my group, you're part of this group. You can't have any other friends type of thing. This is how you'd be made to feel. But me, I have my dad's friends. I have my nights where I have pizza with this one. I just sit and have coffee with this person. These friends, we have all different types of friends. We don't always hang out with the same group, doing this different things, but all with the same group. So that's what I found was challenging. And a lot of my friends didn't dance salsa. I had my salsa friends that would, be at the dance places, and I would rock up on my own. Like I would just take myself there. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, right? For
No.
Americans, Australians,
Not
right?
at all.
I'd rock up and I'd enter, pay for my ticket, and you'd walk in, and sure, you'd see your friends, and they'd say, "Did you come alone?" Yeah, like, what? You come alone? Yeah. How did you come alone? I said, I got in my car and drove here. It was like a big deal for them. Like a woman doesn't travel on her own, like a Friday
It's
night,
true.
go out dancing and then get back in a car and drive back home alone. No,
Mhm.
that was like, whoa, yeah.
But see, that's what it is. We do so many different things countercultural. And it's still like in that upbringing of not fitting in. And we're so used to operating not fitting in that we don't even see the differences when we don't fit in countercultural because you're sitting there saying that and I'm going, yeah. Like they were like mortified that I would go like from one district, let's say go for Deutsch to Patriona or Patriona to Luanda downtown in the city. And they're like, she's traveling off. She doesn't speak Portuguese well, and you let her go by yourself. Are you crazy? And it's just like, please go away. I got this. I got this. I have to find my way anyway. I'll get there.
Yeah.
You
You know what's really powerful about this is that those little small comments. Are you crazy? You can't be traveling by yourself. You're a woman. You don't
Yes.
speak the language. That you
Yeah.
don't take it internally. You don't listen to that voice. And you're like, go away. I got this. So that's the power in that. Even though you don't fit in, oh, I'm gonna make myself. I will make my own path. I don't need to fit in. I don't need to fit in. So you two have talked about something very profound, and it is, and I think you mentioned it. You alluded to it, Anolia, to where it doesn't have to be a different country.
Yeah.
I moved from California to Virginia, and I feel invisible. I I walk out. My daughter, she knows everybody on this street, all their names, all their pets' names. She knows it, but me, it's like, who's that? I don't feel seen. I don't, I don't have that sense of neighbor, you know, kind of, uh, even in California. Well, California is it's a different country.
I was about to say you lived out of the country with that one.
For their own country.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to be their own country anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yes.
they should. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's totally different. So do you have that anxiety of because of the different places that you go to or you move to or you're going to go to? Do you have that feeling or do you have that anxiety or do you have that thought, Wendy?
You know what? With me, I guess growing up shy, I was used to being invisible. Because I think you and I talked about the neighborhood I'm in, and everyone is great just in case somebody stopped by and listen. Y'all are all okay. But I don't have any friends. You got to put that disclaimer. But I don't have any real friends in my neighborhood. And when James and I got married, like even today, he was like, "Oh, so-and-so's husband, the procedure went well." I'm like, "She texted you?" He was like, "Yeah, okay." But you know what? But for me, it's a two-way street. You can't fit in if someone is not open to receiving you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's funny. So I've never lived out of the country, but the business group I'm in, everyone is Polish or they're Slavic. They're from that area of the world. And the first time I got with them, we went on the business trip, and it's this big bus, and everybody's talking their language, and I'm just like. And so the director goes, "Okay, everyone, we must speak English for Wendy." And they said, yeah, they went back to their conversations. And I'm texting my husband, like, I just need to see how to change my flight because I can't, I'm the only little black girl there and everybody's speaking a language and everybody knows each other. And I was miserable. And I said, okay, Wendy, I'm used to being the only one in different scenarios. So I said, okay, so the young ones in the back of the bus, they were doing their thing and ignoring me. So I said, well, let me see. The older women were at the front. I said, well, let me move up here because I got to be here for 3 days. So let me see. They always speak English and they did. They embraced me. We had conversations and everything. But the younger group were like, we don't know you. We're friends, whatever. And I had to understand like which part of the group I could be with. And it took me getting over myself because I was like, I'm leaving. I could take an Uber I'm gone. I was like, I got to figure this out because that's the way the world works. You get in these scenarios where you just like, I don't know. So I was able to make friends with the people at the front, the older women who took their time to speak English to me so that we could have a conversation. And the rest of the trip was fine. So now years later, when I go with them, they all speak English. And it's okay. Like they'll slide into there and I'm like, excuse me, so I feel more comfortable saying, hello, what does that mean? But yeah, it's a two-way street. It's seeing someone different. And I'm that person. Like if somebody walks in different, I'm going to them because I want to learn. You learn when you come outside your comfort zone to receive someone who is different from you.
Yeah.
And I think just because the way I grew up, I was always like, where's Wendy? I don't know. I'm sitting right now. I'm quiet though, because I didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't feel my mom was like this glamazon. And then my sister was Miss Social Butterfly. And so I'm just going to sit here and just be quiet and be invisible. So for me, I gravitate toward people who are different because I know how it feels to not be embraced.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
celebrate that. Like if we were all the same, how boring would that be?
I know, right?
Exactly.
That
I'll
would
tell you
be
what happened
so
to me with the same thing but the opposite. Sorry, Wendy, with English and Polish speaking people. When I was in Italy, and I was, really retreating and just holding back and not being me, I had a friend who noticed that in me, because when I was in this group of people that were just speaking Italian perfectly, and he said to me, Stefania, even though your Italian's not perfect, you're fun. You make people laugh. You say things so differently, like really, like the way you express yourself in Italian. It's half Italian, half dialect, a little bit of English, and it's fun. It's fun to listen to. Be that, because that's what you are. So he
Yeah.
encouraged me, and that's how I got over that hurdle, with
Because
just
you only
laughing.
need that one person, right? You just need one person to say that you're okay in that setting. And you're like,
Yeah,
okay, you sure? Okay, cool. Because they know all I know is gymno and Gindoble. Good morning, and it's cold. Like in the summer, summer afternoon, I can't help you. But they embrace that. They're okay with that now. But it only takes that one person to say, oh,
Right.
it's okay.
So when I would talk, I would actually say, look, my Italian's not perfect. Please tell me if you don't understand me. And just start laughing. I would laugh at myself. So by laughing at myself, it allowed them to like, oh, she's not that I wanted to be funny to be accepted, but it was my way of getting over the hurdles of not saying things correctly. I would just laugh it off. Yeah. So I think that really works. So for others that find that difficult, laugh at yourself, and you find people will just laugh with you.
Or find that group that if this group doesn't accept you, fine. I'll just go around to the other groups until you're gonna click with someone.
Absolutely.
Someone will embrace you. So I don't even get mad. Like, okay, well, the little young girls in the back, that's their thing, and that's fine. So let me see how these be. And if they weren't fine, I mean, I would have figured it out. And I took it on as a challenge. Like, I'm gonna find somebody to hang out with these 3 days that I can communicate with. And it just so happens to work with the older women on the bus.
Yeah.
It's really interesting too, because my sister asked me this, because I traveled all over the world and I worked with all these different cultures, and she was like, my God, why would they invite you in? And I just want to share with you the universal thing that always got me in, no matter what I was doing, is a smile.
Mm-hmm.
It's how I received the difference. It was like, I don't fit. It's okay. We're gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm uncomfortable.
Smile goes a long way.
Smiling,
Yes.
Yeah.
And then what happened is that broke a barrier. And somebody just saw that smile and wanted to know who I was.
Yeah.
And then I would get invited in. And we're sitting here talking about the differences, but I'll tell you, it's those differences that give us, listen to all of the strengths that we have, that we're kind of whispering in between these awkward moments.
Yeah.
A lot of strengths here. The
Yes.
courage to engage those older women, the courage to, figure out and laugh and not have the language down 100%. Boy, am I a fan of that one.
Right.
I falo no Português, falo Português pouco. I speak Portuguese a little bit.
I would be like what she said. What
she said, yeah.
What she said. Because I don't know any of it. I'm with her.
But you find when you try, sorry, Nolia?
It just brought a lot of strengths too.
Yeah. But you find too, when you do try, people are usually quite welcoming to that, real people. I think they're not, so be it. But, when you do try, I think it's like someone coming to the country, an English-speaking country, and they're not speaking English very well. I know that I am more accepting, and there's some people that aren't. But the fact that they're trying does actually show, that, hey, I'm trying. And some people are welcoming to that.
Yeah,
That
it shows that you're interested.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it shows that you're interested. It shows that you see them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I see you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what it.
And then
That's what
the
it
fact
tells.
that you're trying, because a lot of people come over with a sense of entitlement, and they're like, well, if you can't speak my language, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And they sit back and they'll look mean, and they just won't say a word, you know? But if you're trying that effort and a smile, that's all they're looking for is, you know, do you want to be here? I think that body language has a lot to do with
But then you have to know that it's okay if they don't accept you. It's
it.
okay.
Yeah.
You know what? You're saving me some breath and some energy trying to communicate with you and get to know who you are. I will move on and take my greatness to someone else
Mm-hmm.
to match with their greatness. You know, you have to know it's okay. I don't even,
I'm just gonna drop that. I'm gonna take my greatness
yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah. You know, God bless you. But you
Yeah.
have, because even here, you know, you have, oh, you don't have a degree, or you're just a stay-at-home mom. I mean, you hear all that. Yeah, I'm a dang good mom. And
Yeah.
if you feel like you want to be with someone with letters behind their name, that, you know what, go ahead. Because I'm a great person. And if you don't want to take the time to find that, I told an attorney one time, because he was talking to me as if I was just a stay-at-home mom. And I said, I could be smarter than you. Just because you have letters behind your name does not make you higher in status than I am. I have a voice, you will listen, or I will find someone who will.
Mm,
Because I said what I said.
yes.
You're not
Yes.
listening, you know? So if you feel that you can't respect me because you can't be in my space without respect, I will respect you, but I need that back. And so he was looking at me. I'm like, you think I'm just a stay-at-home mom, that I don't have intelligence? I am probably smarter than you. I just didn't go to school to get letters behind my name. Congratulations for the work, because I know it takes work, but you will not diminish who I am. I'm very smart.
Right. Right.
Correct.
You know, there's an ongoing joke with PhDs and me.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I can say that I have a degree and all of that good stuff, but I don't. I don't need to. What is that going to serve me?
Right.
Really? So they will say, "Oh, I have a PhD." I said, "Oh, yeah, I do too." You're like, "Really? What is it in?" "Oh, public high school diploma."
Yeah.
I have a PhD. Yes.
Me too, Zanetta. That's why we friends.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I celebrate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a public high school diploma because your PhD, how is it serving you? Oh, you're in debt.
Yeah. And that says nothing about who you are as a person.
Right.
It says nothing. There are some
Nothing.
lame buttholes with higher educated degrees, and there are people who maybe didn't even finish high school, and they're great people. It's about the person. I don't care what,
Yes.
congratulations. You know,
Yes.
I respect the grind that it takes to get a degree.
Yeah.
But what you won't do is come into my space and make yourself feel better,
No.
because now that tells me there's something wrong with you.
Right.
If you're going to hold on to, I'm okay, good for you. Do you want to talk about something like real or what? But that's what the people who, and they move around in groups like that. We're all PhDs. We all have this designer, whatever. We live here. Oh, you just have this kind of car. Yeah, because I'm keeping my money. I don't need to put my money into a status symbol. But if that's what you choose to do, go ahead. Heck, matter of fact, you drive next time, so I can just ride with you, because you got the status. But it's sad that society teaches us that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl, your boyfriend, he drive I think James rolled up in a Range Rover when we first started dating. I don't know. Does it stop in the middle of the street? Does it keep? That's really all I care about. And I'm like, girl, he got a Range Rover. I'm like, yeah, so I said, see, I need to see who he is though, because I've met people who have these luxury cars and that's where all their money goes. I'm not trying to be cute in a luxury car and we can't afford lunch.
Mm. Mm.
But I've been with people who had the Toyota, who had the Chevy, the nicest people, and they had a money for a latte. You know, you got to put stuff in perspective. It's just stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
and
Right.
it depreciates. So how smart is it to put all your money into something? If you have the money, and that's what, no
By all
shade,
means, go ahead. Yes. Spend your
but
money
you,
the way you want to.
yeah, but
But
I need to eat.
yeah,
So you can't feed me. That's when we have a problem.
me too. I like to eat.
I like to eat.
I like to eat more than I like jewelry.
See, that's
So
why we friends, Sonata.
yes. See this right here, it's $5.
See? Yeah.
It, this will
And you know,
not.
somebody, oh, well, you know, I only shop at Tiffany. Good for you. Let me see your bank account, though.
So let me ask this question. And you said a very good point. Do some, I know I did, I don't do it now. Do some go out of their way to try to fit in, to have that sense of belonging, and yet miserable on the inside? Ooh, quiet.
Yes. I think as women, haven't we all at some point done that? At some point, we've all done that. Like I was gonna stay at the hairdresser and keep getting that relaxer because they're gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy when my hair goes left, because it will. But I think we've all done that, and I think that the more that we teach our children and the younger people that, you know, like Enola is beautiful. Like I'm like, this, she gonna come on
Yes.
camera just doing that?
Yes.
You know what I mean? But somebody else be like, I mean, you don't want to put a wig on, or you want to? No, I mean, but we
No.
want to embrace the beauty that's in other people, even if it's not like our beauty.
Right.
And
I'm
that's why I
gonna
love
bust.
those commercials. They're starting to do it a little bit more where you see it. I want to see
Yes.
y'all rolls. I don't want to see this skinny chick. I've had kids. I don't want to see that. I want to see somebody with rolls. I want to see somebody with gray. You know, I want to see all of that because that's the real person.
Yes.
And the more that, I know it's going to be a very slow moving train as far as the media, because I won't say his name, but there's a reporter. He's amazing, but he's heavy and not polished as far as the way he looks. And I was like, there is no way they would have a woman on looking like that. He's smart as a whip. The questions he asked, I'm like, yeah, answer that. But his appearance, had it been put on a woman, no.
Yeah, we
But
still
that's a societal thing. Yeah.
have a long way to go. I'm gonna bust somebody out. I'm not gonna mention their names, but they're gonna know who they are. You know, and so you know, she's one of my good friends, and you know, I told her, I said, hey, want to join live? I'm not camera ready. So
Oh, did you tell him about me? I was like, I'm gonna put on some lipstick
I said, so,
and I'm gonna go because it's who you are.
and
you're
this is what I said.
beautiful.
I said, look at Enolia. She has a tank top. Beautiful.
Just
I
came on with the
you know that
smile.
I've been on here not camera ready already a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's 3:00 in the morning. But I'll come on if you want me to. There I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm busting you out.
So we expect to see you soon on
I'm
the
busting her
camera.
out. I am busting her out. So you know,
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I think that, you know, because we are so taught and so geared towards, you know, what we're supposed to look like, you know, and how we're supposed to show up, and how that's not real life.
Right.
It is not real life. It isn't.
So we expect to see you next. Was it next Friday? Same time, right? I was just hoping you weren't talking about me. I'm like, oh, if she busts me and I'm on camera.
No, no, I would no.
Yeah. But there's a she's on YouTube. Her name is EJ Speaks, and sometimes she's on. Oh, the makeup is late, and then other times she's on there, and you see the acne scars and you see the dark circles. She's coming on regular, and I looked at her. I'm like, way to go! That's awesome that you see her in what. Listen, I'm working. I have this video, and she's hilarious. But we need to, because what do? Oh, did she didn't put no makeup on? What she gonna come on camera like that? We do it. I just saw send a link. I don't know.
Yes, I did. I sent it already before you even put that on the comment.
Yeah. But that's important though. Yeah. I mean, that's the way, like, you'll take a picture, like, I didn't like that picture, but that's the way you look that day. And what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
But we will be quick to be like, she came on camera like, she all right? Yeah. But what did she say? What was her content? What was her intelligence? This all changes over the years.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
So celebrate it.
And you have your self-esteem and know your self-worth. And love self. It's funny that you're talking about my hair because I got it all cut off about 2 weeks ago. I was like, I'm tired of it.
Girl, you doing it.
Yeah, I
love it.
I was like,
just getting ready is just easy.
It's just easy.
I mean, things I have to go through.
Did you say 2 weeks ago? Hasn't it been longer than that? It's been.
I love it.
Had it grown since the first time you cut it, and then you cut it back again.
Like Sonetta, when you embraced your gray, I'm like, yes, I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
Because I got tired. I got tired of, thanks to COVID, when all the beauty shops closed.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they lost a lot of money that way. A lot of people have done that. A lot of people have actually let go of coloring their hair or even started cutting their own hair.
I know it can't be Monica because she looks good.
Look, she talking about she don't look camera ready.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You see how she called me out like that, you guys?
We did.
Hey,
look,
we are with her though.
Any name?
I love it. You look so pretty.
Hey, ladies.
Beautiful. Hi, Monica.
She's such a mess. This is such a great conversation. I was really, really enjoying from the back end. I'm just saying.
No, you got to step up. Quit playing.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you. Stop.
The main one, I'm coming in town and you're gonna be on stage and she gonna try it. That's what she doing.
Right. But no, this is such a great conversation. I was like, no, she didn't just call me out like that.
But you weren't surprised, were you?
Not at all. Not at all. She kind of did it to all of us at one point in time. I know she did.
Yeah.
You know what? One thing about Enola that I love, and I just met Enola, is that she's always game. 3 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes. She would say, oh, yes, I will set my alarm clock.
That's so good. And she looked like that, though.
Oh, my God.
Yes. You text me at 3 in the morning. It's not cute.
No. Too kind.
Oh,
I wish.
Let her go to bed.
Right.
Let Wendy go to bed because she's not. It's too late for her.
That's not true. I don't believe you, Wendy.
You haven't seen me though. You haven't seen the picture. It's not. It's not pretty, but I'm okay with that.
But we're talking about appearances now. Sometimes we feel like that. I have to show up like this, because I won't fit in, or this is not the norm, or this is not. You know what I do? I put makeup on and then I would pull it off. That's my routine. That's exactly what I do. I put it on and then I'll take it off. That's why you don't.
So now, what's the reason for that? Than just not putting it on?
Well, because this is my there's a
I knew you had
method to
an
my
explanation. That's why
Yes,
I
I do. Yes, yes.
Mhm.
So when I used to be an actress in the Philippines, and they would put all this cake up makeup on, and then I would fall asleep. Yes, I would fall asleep, and then when I wake up, the makeup has already seeped in, and it's already all gone, and I look good. I was like,
Oh, she's like the day old makeup looks way better than the fresh
like,
one. No, it
okay.
does. I get it.
try
I get
it,
it.
try,
No, I get it.
try it.
I get
I
it.
put it on, and then I take it
That
off.
is too funny.
I don't have lipstick on.
That's all I
Mhm.
said. I'm gonna do this red lip.
See?
Because if I tell Zanetta, girl, I didn't get a chance to she wasn't gonna receive that. So
No, I wasn't, because what I value more
yeah.
is your experience, your wisdom, your knowledge. I value your friendship. I value what you have to give. That's what I value. All of this is glowing. I see nothing but beauty. Nothing but beauty. That's what I see.
Oh, she's so
We
cute.
like the way you see
No,
things.
no, you didn't just say, "Oh, she's so cute." No,
Monica, you know she know your phone number, right?
I know where she lived too.
Oh, see?
Oh no, but this is really amazing. I was really enjoying it.
So, what's your take? What do you have that issue that try to fit in, and have that battle within you when you're in a group that you're fitting in, but you really don't?
hmm I actually experienced that a lot. I really do. And it's one that I had to come to grips with and just accept. Um, I think that trying to fit in is way, I mean, it's way harder. It's so much harder trying to fit in. Just whenever I would go to a room or I was just having this conversation. It's interesting. When I would enter a room, I'm the observer, right? I always sit in the back, but for some reason, even though you're quiet, you still stand out. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So no matter how much I tried to just blend in, it just never worked. So I just had to come to grips with it, right? And
mm,
and be okay with it. Be okay with not fitting in. That's it.
See, my
mm.
question would be, what would be the why for wanting to fit in? It's because each
Oh,
scenario is different.
hmm
Sometimes it's not for you to fit in. Sometimes it is for you to kind of observe, to read the room, as they say. So I
hmm
don't always have to go into a space and fit in.
hmm
mm.
So to me, I'm going to ask if I walk into a room, okay, why do I feel the need to fit in? Is it
Mm.
because I feel like I'm being ostracized, or I'm feeling, our self-esteem kind of goes up and down sometimes. Like, is it that? But it's the why. It's not always for you to fit in, and that's okay. But getting used to it, I think is too far too. You know what I mean?
hmm
No, you get up and speak. That's
hmm
me. Somebody got questions? Yes. Like,
hmm
where'd she come from? I had a question.
hmm
I know y'all was trying to ignore me, but
Yeah.
so it's just about the why. If it's for you to observe, then that's fine. But if you're trying to fit in and it's making you uncomfortable with you,
hmm
then that's not
Mm.
the time to fit in.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's
Wow.
interesting because we have a lot of cultural background where, okay, so for me, um, I never fit in, right? But the cultural piece of that is that where I grew up, right, it was a small Black neighborhood in a white town, right?
Mm.
So when I went to school, I was the only one. When I
Mhm.
did this, I was the only one. When I
Yeah.
did that, I was the only one. So that adjustment to never fitting in, you know, culturally gave me the strength because it's like, okay, this is standard, this is status quo. A lot of people don't necessarily grow up with that,
Yeah.
right? They always fit in. In other words, they didn't stand out such that, at least physically, you don't fit in.
Mhm.
They would fit in physically, and then when you got to know their personality, they didn't fit in, and then that was the black sheep, and you were looked at a certain way because of the way you thought and whatnot. But at first
Mhm.
glance, you fit in. So it's there's a difference there. It's not an apples to apples comparison to say, for myself that why should I fit in? I feel that way because it's like I've always stood out.
Mm.
I've always stood out physically and I've always stood out mentally. So I've always stood out. So why should I fit in? I don't feel the inclination or the need to because I'm very comfortable with not,
Mhm.
But if you're that person and you don't fit in and you really want to feel a need to, because
Yeah.
all of a sudden now you're isolated, like something physically is making you stand out and something's making you stand out where you can't even have that at first glance nobody would notice. It's a different story.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Me, I'm fine with me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
All of us get along.
Yeah. But that takes practice.
That
It
is
does.
true.
It has to become a habit.
Yes.
But
Yes.
again, the way I was raised, Wendy, why can't you be, why can't you do this? Because I don't know what to do with them. They don't know what to do with me. So I'm good being by myself. But my mother was, God bless her. She's like, but you don't want to go outside? I don't. And
Mhm.
today, I say things. She's like, what? And I'm like, that's just not, I'm just different. And it took me years and thousands of dollars in therapy to come to the this is me and I'm happy with me and it's okay. And I'm not offended if Stefania doesn't really like me. I'm not for everybody. I'm not trying to say, but you know what I mean?
Tanya, no
Your
play.
best person. You could be your best person
I just
doing
don't
good.
like the red lipstick. That's all. I just don't.
But somebody's always
I
going to have
usually wear
something.
red.
I know. See, right there. Wendy, I didn't like the way that top curl kind of went. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay because it's taken forever for me to get to this point. But that's why I try to encourage young people. Like, listen,
Yeah.
you got a big forehead, honey. Me too. Let me pull these bangs back. We can just talk. And it's okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's
Yes.
your differences are okay, even if they don't fit
Yes.
in with what society says is beautiful or acceptable.
Mhm.
Well, I always feel like the younger people today are more comfortable with their sexuality and everything more so than we ever were coming up. I mean, you see, at least I see men in skirts. I see, I just see things that we would never do younger or that would
Right.
never be done younger that the young people today will do and not even think twice about it, not even care, not even blink an eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
More accepting of differences.
Yes,
Yeah.
much, much more.
But then you got our generation. Does he have on a skirt? What the?
We're judgmental.
Honey, if he want to wear a skirt, let him wear a skirt. That's not who I would choose to date, but
I
that's not my
can't.
business.
Right.
Because I was frustrated because I wore pants all the time. When did you put on a skirt? I don't want to wear. I can't get down and run and play in the dirt with a skirt. I need pants on.
Yes.
So yeah, you're right. Yeah, because Matthew will say, Ma, we don't care a pant, but there's so many of them, pan, and he has friends who embrace who they are. And he's like, yeah, she's this, her pronouns are this. I'm like, see, that's confusing. I don't have nothing against it, but just let me say the girl and tell her it's not personal. It's just I get confused. But you're right. I think it's great though. That's a change that's needed to happen for a long time. How many people suffered in our generation and right behind us because they couldn't stand in and live in their own truth?
Mhm.
Mm.
I don't have to agree with it, honey. If that's you,
Mhm.
as long as you don't need me to be there and doing the same, you do you.
Right.
But the interesting part is they're very observant. So even though they're like, they still make it their business. So the fact that they're making it their business to be observing you and criticizing or making statements, that means there's an interest. So, you could look at it that way as well. Like they're just gravitating to your uniqueness
Yeah.
because they can't. So they see something in you that they can't do. So unfortunately, they may, criticize it, but it's something that's reflecting back within them, I think. Yeah. So
That's good.
great conversation, ladies. And it's great how we've grown in conversation this evening.
Hey, Nola, I have someone asking me what country in Africa you're in.
I am in Luanda, Angola. And so if you don't know where Angola is, you know where South Africa is. Most people know where South Africa is. And if you're coming up the Atlantic coast, it's South Africa, then Namibia, then Angola.
She moved to Ghana. She's in the States now, but I'm choking. But she wanted to know that.
Beautiful. No, I welcome it. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Good.
Stefania,
Yes.
this has been a great conversation.
It has been a great conversation. I thank you ladies for joining in. It's been wonderful. From a topic I thought, I don't know if we can talk about it, but yeah, it's been great. And I think I just welcome the people that were able to be vulnerable and share our thoughts. So I thank you, ladies. So just to wrap it up, because I know we've been going for like nearly 2 hours now.
And now we're in 26 minutes.
Wow. So usually we finish off with a message or a thought for our audience, a tip, and we'll start with Wendy. Wendy, what would you like to?
It's the red lipstick. I bet y'all won't have on red next time. I'm gonna have on something clear.
It just drew me to you.
It's all right. I'll be ready next time.
Okay.
It's just as you look and seek to step into who you are authentically, be open to accepting others and theirs. It takes you out of your comfort zone, yes, but when you step out, you grow. So as you grow, allow other people to grow, even if that's not in the direction that you grow.
Absolutely. Okay. Moving along, Monica.
Is it the purple lipstick? I mean, I'm going to Wendy.
Close to the red lipstick.
Yeah, that's it.
It's in the family of red.
Right. So I'm going to stick what I know best, which especially when it comes to knowing who you are. So my favorite quote and message is always, if you don't know who you are, the world will not know who you are either. So get to know who you are and don't try to fit in. Just be you.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Enolia.
So I always feel like the divine has always embraced the fact that we were made unique. And to stand out uniquely you is to be seen. And to be seen means that you have something to say. So stand in your truth and your authenticity and be that uniquely you, and know that you are worthy and that what you have to say is powerful. And that is why you stand out. That is why you have not conformed. And embrace it in its entirety. And be the example and representation so that others can follow and not be afraid.
Absolutely. Thank you, Enolia. Thank you. And Zanetta.
Oh, it's because I don't have makeup on, right?
That's why you've wiped it off.
Next time I'll keep the makeup on. That way I'll be first. No, and I'll put red lipstick on.
So, red lipstick.
That's right.
Well, I don't own red lipstick.
Wendy will send it to you.
What she
I don't
said.
own lipstick.
Loved
That's
red.
okay. We'll fix that.
Yes.
I just have, lip gloss.
They got
The-
red lip gloss, you know.
The cherry chapstick. I tried, Wendy. Didn't I try, Wendy? I want to say thank you also to Wendy because she's the reason why. At age 54, I will be 55 soon.
Double nickel. You look
Look at that.
amazing.
Look at that. Yes. Oh, so I'm sorry. Yes. So beauty products from Wendy.
Thank
Um,
you.
so for me, I'm gonna quote the Bible because that has been my guide. The Bible has been my guide, has been my north whenever I veer left, because of my own self. I go back to the Bible, and the Bible tells us that God fearfully and wonderfully made us. So when it says that he carefully created you uniquely you. So you won't fit in because you are uniquely you. There is no other Monica Reed. There's no other Enolia. There's no other Wendy. Stefania, you're Stefania. Whenever I think of someone who just has the biggest heart and just wants to help, I think of Stefania. When I think of someone who wants to push people in their businesses, I think of Monica. When I think about someone who just, man, she drops nuggets. Where does she get it? Oh my God, Enoya. I'm like, whoa. And then the one who has the strength, oh my God, that I wish I have. I mean, I do, but not the way I see the strength and the power and the courage of Wendy. When I think of those things, I see certain people and I see certain ones because you are uniquely you and you give that power and that courage, that wisdom, that knowledge to enhance me.
We're a pretty good group here.
And I hope I do the same.
Yeah.
And I hope I do the same. That
Absolutely.
don't change for anyone because if you're not you, if you are not, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep on saying this. If you are not you, there is no such thing as imposter syndrome. You are an imposter because the syndrome is just, it flares up. There. No. If you are not you, you're an imposter. And I love, I cherish, I honor who you are.
And being an imposter is a lot of work.
It is. It's too much energy.
Stressful.
Too much energy.
Yeah. Easy to be you.
Yes.
And thank you, ladies. Thank you. And thank you, Zanea, because we just love you for who you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. Don't think that you're not gonna say anything, Stefania.
I could see it coming. Okay. Well, I think all of you ladies said it beautifully. The only thing I'd like to just add to that, to remind you all and the audience out there how uniquely you are, is you have one set of fingerprints and nobody else in the whole world has your print. So that's how unique we all are. And if we don't have the same print, how are we going to fit? Our fingers don't fit, right? So we've got to embrace that. We've really got to embrace that and love that part of ourselves, that we are different and that we don't fit in. And it's just impossible. But we can all live together in love and in acceptance and accepting who we are and our differences.
Yeah.
I think that's what I so
Be in
celebrate.
harmony.
Well said.
Yes.
Celebrate you. So thank you once again, ladies, and thank you to everyone that's been listening and joining in, and whoever's watching on the replay. Please, send us some love, some hearts, some comments, and if there's any topics, anything that you'd like us to talk about, please do. And of course, I do have my show that's back on next week, Let's Talk Relationship, and I might be contacting you, Wendy, and you, Monica, and of course, Sinolia, to come on my show and let's talk
Happily.
relationship. Would you like that?
Yes.
Happily.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Because I think yesterday, some things happened, but that's okay. I'm back on track as from next week. So you'll be hearing from me, or we'll catch each other's, because I don't think we're Facebook friends.
Well, as soon as you accept me,
Of course.
you
Change the
and
red
Enolia, I'm just,
Okay.
I sent it out
Change,
there. You just
change the
gotta,
red lipstick.
don't act like you don't know me after we get off of here.
Only because you've got that red lipstick on there.
Accepted.
Red lipstick, okay? Because I'm going to put mine on as well. So thank you once again, everybody. Thank you. Sending you all love and passion and lots of kisses. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Talk to you
you.
soon.
A great
See you next
weekend,
week.
everyone.
Great
Stay
weekend.
on.